So first of all, my financing strategy and also my wife was not to raise capital. That was very important to us for two reasons. Well, each for us for one reason. For her, she was before an entrepreneur with a partner of hers, but it was his company. She invested a lot of time and money. They went bankrupt, and she was very frustrated to put so much energy and time and not be in control. So the next company she wanted to start had to be her own without any partner or investors, in the end, except me. For me, I was working for a large company, doing a lot of PowerPoints for my manager, my boss, and I was just tired to have to report what I was doing. And because I like to do things my way, I didn't want to have a boss. And I felt that any type of investors, even minority, would be like having a boss. So from the start, it was very important not to bring in investors. And as the journey started, we were pressured a lot to take on capital because we needed money to scale. We've been told it's very easy for you to raise capital. You have a good reference in terms of customers. The PE firms were knocking at the door every week. Yet we resisted very strongly, and it was very hard to raise debt as opposed to capital. It was more difficult, took more time, but in the end we succeeded by being innovative in our business model and our financing to stay private. And still today, 15 years later, we are still 100% privately owned. And we are really happy about that because we were able to do what we want, to establish the culture of the company that we like, to go in a country or not go, to have a franchise model or master franchise or not. And we are really free on the decision without any pressure. And that's a very a great luxury to have. Yes, I'm very biased. I guess my main advice is not to raise capital as much as possible. I know for certain companies it's difficult, in particular for tech startups. But still, I believe you can be innovative. You can do things different ways. And that's usually my first advice. And I am very surprised sometimes that entrepreneurs start their own companies. They say, okay, I'm going to right away raise money. They don't even think about other possibilities because they have been brainwashed about how to run a company and how to finance a company. And I believe there are some other ways. Yes, business model. When we created the concept in Europe in 2010, we were the market maker. Hence, I basically decided what the business model would be. I got inspiration from Asia and the US, but in the end, we created a business model for Europe. And how it worked is that so the supermarket let us their space, certain number of square meters inside the supermarket, and access to their customer, and then they take care of taking the money from the customer who is doing their groceries inside the supermarket, and we take care of everything else, the employees, the raw materials, etc. And we give them a percentage of our revenues. At the time, the only similar model was shopping mall, in which case, or airport, in which case you give a fixed rent plus an extra percentage of sales. But I felt it was a pure percentage-based model was more a win-win scenario. And because we were the market maker, that's what we proposed, which was accepted. And that's what stuck eventually in the market still until today.